GAO was asked to do a review of the security at VA medical facilities. And this is a critical body of work that we have been doing because our veterans need to be kept safe and secure when they're going for treatment and they're getting services for their health and well-being. But also these VA employees need to be protected and feel secure when they go to work each and every day. So we have two of the criminal investigators that led this covert testing at 30 different medical facilities nationwide. Their identities are concealed because they are often out on the road doing this investigative work on a number of different jobs. All right, so we can look at the video footage that you all took during the covert testing. The first one that we're going to see is where VA got it right. We got our vodka bottle there.
Yes, you can clearly see that the bottle is out and visible.
Is that an alcohol beverage?
It's just water. Yeah.
Yeah, that can't be on government property.
Oh, wow, okay. Gotcha.
So let's hit pause. Where is this?
So we're in a waiting room, and just within a few seconds, you had the person ask, is that an alcoholic beverage?
Is that an alcohol beverage?
And that's really, I think, what we expected at most of the locations.
Right.
They even called local law enforcement to let them know that they had somebody who was possibly intoxicated in the area.
For that test, we used a bottle that was clearly labeled vodka.
And do you have it with you?
I do.
Okay, so it wasn't one of the small ones.
And we did drink from it, water, of course, and we were drinking from it openly inside of the area. It was visible. Generally speaking, if you were paying attention, it wasn't one of those things that we were concealing or hiding. This facility really did a great job.
So that's the good news. Unfortunately, most of the covert tests, they failed.
So you can see we're in the waiting room here, and a criminal investigator clearly has a bottle of alcohol out. That I don't think that's the surprising part. I think the surprising part is really about how close the security guard is right there. You want somebody who's being attentive,
right,
and looking around the room, scanning and everything else.
This guard was doing a lot of reading of newspaper and watching television at this particular location.
Although we were doing covert testing, we were not attempting to be covert with our drinking. We wanted to be overt. We wanted to be in a space where we could be seen so that someone had the opportunity to notice what was happening.
All right, we're moving into some more footage here.
This particular location, the investigator again set a location that was heavily trafficked. There was VA staff that walked by consistently. There at one point, I don't believe you guys will catch it in the clip, but there was a point where a VA police officer also walked by.
I guess also from the VA perspective, it's kind of unfortunate that they weren't identified more often, because somebody drinking like that in a VA facility may really need help or something along those lines as well. And VAs are known to be safe spaces, right? That we want veterans to be able to go into VAs and get help and be able to...
Is this the same location?
This is a different location.
And now the investigator is walking around, and not to cut you off, I just wanted to point that out.
Yes, this is a different location, and the investigator not only sat in an open space, she was sure to sit someplace where there were multiple security cameras. We're not hiding that bottle at all. And in fact, the investigators are usually putting their hands towards the bottom of the bottle.
And the label's facing out.
Correct.
All right, we're moving into some more footage here.
So this particular test, we're testing the prohibited items. The criminal investigator in front of us wearing the blue shirt and the khaki pants, you'll see that when we entered into this particular door, there is a set of metal detectors. We didn't see metal detectors at many locations, but when we saw these, we said, oh, we're definitely going to get caught. And so the first criminal investigator walks into the facility. He does not have any prohibited items. There's nothing in his bag that's metal that would set the metal detector off. And then right after that, the second criminal investigator walks through, and there's a beep that says the magnetometer was working. However, no one stopped us.
Wow. And then what was the tool? Can you bring that one out? Wow. Okay, so this is a multi-tool, potentially very dangerous. How is it detected? How is it supposed to be detected?
There's enough metal with that particular item that when you go through a metal detector, it should sound if the metal detector is operating.
If you watch this video for about another 2 seconds, you'll see both criminal investigators walk right out. And if you slow down 1 second.
Oh.
The staff is right there. The security room is right next to the metal detector.
Correct.
Was that the metal detector that...
That is the exact same metal detector.
We came through.
And
Wow.
the investigators walked in, was there for less than 15 seconds, turned around and walked back out. And that person was still sitting there.
Wow. And it was an audible beep.
Audible beep. And it beeped going in and it beeped going out.
All right, this is another location.
The criminal investigators, there were 4 of us for this particular engagement, and 2 went one direction to walk into the facility. The other 2 went a totally different way, and again, they were in the facility easily.
Enter in with prohibited items and able to meander throughout.
And they, freely carrying a prohibited item, walked past a sign that says, "Do not enter. Security guard." New security section in sight. And they proceeded right past that sign, carrying a prohibited item, and was not stopped or confronted.
Were there metal detectors?
There were no metal detectors at this facility.
And it clearly is a major facility in an urban area, downtown area.
One of the common themes in conducting all 30 of these tests was a theme of situational awareness. There were many facilities where we were sure that the investigator would be caught if VA personnel or VA security would have just looked up, would have just scanned the room to see what was going on.
And there is a certain amount of protection that's associated with that when somebody's really paying attention and being attentive.
So the importance of the covert testing and the findings from this particular project are critical to saving lives, not just veterans, but those that are supporting our veterans in these VA facilities. And so we want VA to balance not putting up barriers to entry with securing these facilities to ensure the safety of our vets as well as those who serve them.